And so I want to welcome you all onto today, the 1st of November. Let's go. Aren't we grateful that we made it to another month, another Monday, another mindset call, another day that we can make impact onto the world, all right? Another day that we can make impact onto the world, into our families, into all areas of our life. And I am so grateful to be here. It is Nikki Sutherland, your money and mindset mentor, and I'm excited to be hosting tonight's call, which is entitled The Power of a Decision. All right, the power of a decision. And we're going to get straight into that. Okay, so let's go into it. I want to talk about our decisions and what a decision is. All right, and you guys know that's one of my favorite words. Okay, the decision, to decide, right? How many of us have heard me say before? And if you're new and you've not heard me say it, please write it down. The word decide means to kill the alternative. All right, to kill the alternative. So you have homicide, which means what? What does homicide mean? Let's see if we got what does homicide mean? What is homicide? Let's see. Let's get some interaction straight out into the chat box. Yes, so it's killing a person, right? Killing a person. That's what it is. Okay, so what is pesticide? All right, what is pesticide? Let's see. All right. Angelina says kill a rat. Insects. Yes. Okay. Exactly that. Pesticide is killing of insects. Okay. And then we have, and you can think of all the words of, with side at the end, but then we have decide, which is to kill the alternative. So when you make a decision, when you decide something, it means that it's final, right? It means that it's done. There is no other alternative. You've decided that that's exactly what's going to happen, right? You guys really know your insects. I got roaches, bugs. Yes, I see the experts. Yes, I'm not even going to say what I was going to say, but there's a reason why some of us are experts on them things. I remember when I was in Jamaica at my grandma's house, I tell you, we had to know what was going on. Yes, Angie. So to decide is to kill the alternative. All right. And so what we're going to be talking about today is your decisions from today. What are you going to decide? And I want you to write on your paper, what am I going to decide? Right? I want you to ask yourself that throughout what we're talking about here. And this mindset call, I've not intended it to be very long because I do have a special announcement at the end. So what I did is I simply just wrote down the word decision, and I'm going to be breaking it down. All right. So D, the D is do it with discipline. Whatever you decide, you must be disciplined, ladies and gents. Like, you've heard me say this before, which is do not act as you feel, act as you must. Don't act as you feel, act as you must. And we spoke last week about how your feelings are not always the best indicator to listen to when making a decision. But discipline, when we think about discipline, what does it mean? Discipline is consistency. Discipline is doing what we've said we're going to do, even when we don't feel like it anymore. So discipline could be, someone tell me, you said every day that you're going to do something, or you said every Monday you're going to go netball, right? Now, the mind, the feelings will tell me I'm tired. But to be disciplined, I'm going to be showing up to that netball court every single Monday. All right. How you do anything is how you do everything. So it doesn't have to be just in your business place, in your workplace. It doesn't have to be in your home. How you do anything is how you do everything. So I want to challenge you to ask yourself this question. Have I decided to be disciplined on what I've said that I can do? And every single one of us, right? every single one of us have an area where we can work on discipline. Yes or yes, right? And I want you to write in the chat box right now, what area do you, right? Do you need to be more disciplined at? Where's the discipline area for you? I want you to write it down because I want you to have tangible things that you can take away from this call, right? And I'll pull out a few examples. I want you to write that down, okay? Now, I even will push the barrier a little bit and say this, that potentially the results and the things that you've decided that you want is on the other side of your discipline. I will even go as far to say this. That your lack of discipline is what's delaying you. I will even go as far to say that when you decide to be disciplined, you're going to see massive changes take place in your life. And so there's an area that needs to be adjusted, and discipline is the answer. What is it that you got to be disciplined as? Because that lack of discipline, the lack of discipline is what's delaying the thing that you've decided that you say you want. Oh, that's good. That's deep. What is the thing that you know that if you were only disciplined in it, you would get a better outcome, you'd get the results that you want? And I want you to self-reflect. I want you to self-reflect. No, Amina, sometimes we have guests on here as well. Losing weight. But you see, Deborah, let's pick up on that one. Losing weight, Deborah says. That's the goal, but that's not the discipline. What's the discipline? Someone type in the chat. If my goal is to lose weight, what do I need to be disciplined on? Exercise, eating healthy, diet, planning. I've got to be disciplined on planning. You know, one of the things for me when I used to work in an office, I wasn't disciplined in planning my meals. So what happens is you just get hungry, you run to KFC or you run to whichever place. So discipline could be in many areas. It could be planning. Yes, you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Discipline, staying away from the cakes that they give out in the office on a Friday. Discipline in what you buy. Okay, so I don't want you to just write down the word, I need to be better at such and such. I want you to really break it down. What does that mean for you? If you want to lose weight, then what's the things that you got to be disciplined at in order to get there? And it's interesting, I was speaking to a few individuals earlier and I said, guys, what's your goal? And everybody, that we say words, but we don't make them tangible. So the goal is to be better at, I don't know, be better at studying, for example. I think I saw that in there. But how do you measure being better at studying? You can't measure it. But what you want to say is actually, each week, I need to do 1 hour of studying every day. Now that's tangible because now I can hold myself accountable. But if I say I need to be better at studying, guess what happens? It's an intangible, I can't measure it, and then nothing happens. Nothing changes because I'm saying words like stop procrastinating. How do you measure stop procrastinating? You can't. And so what happens is there's an inconsistency on the measurements. And now what I do, yeah, some of us say smart. I'm not really a fan of smart. I like to just say what, how much, by when. What am I doing? How much of it am I going to do? And when am I going to do it? Right? So when we say words like, I got to get better at something, I need to stop procrastinating, all of that is not going to drive you to tangible actions, right? So we got to be what are we going to be disciplined at? What are the things that we need to be? Is it the planning? And then when you say I got to be disciplined in planning, then what do we got to do? Well, when am I going to plan? How much planning am I going to do? And by when am I going to get it done? So guess what? Every Sunday before I go to bed, that's the time when I do my planning time. I've scheduled that in so that now it's a tangible. Now it almost feels uncomfortable if I don't do it at that time. Can we see what we're talking about here? So it's about making sure that we don't just decide on random words, but we're decisive on what we decide. Otherwise, when we're deciding on things, we go so big with all these big words, but they don't mean nothing to us, and we can't hold ourselves accountable to them. So the first one is to decide, the first out of the word decision is do it with discipline. I'm a person, I don't like to do things half-hearted. I'm either doing it or I'm not. I'm either going to go all in or I'm not, right? Do it with discipline. Hold yourself accountable. Don't wait for somebody else to tell you. You know, we all know in deep down where we need to work on that discipline area. All right, very important. E, when it comes to making a decision, you got to have the expectation of positive results. Expectation of positive results, all right? D, do it with discipline. E, expectation of positive results. How many times have we been guilty of saying, oh, I'm going to do this, but I'll probably only X, Y, Z. Give an example. Had one of my girls today, we were talking and she was like, I'm going to invite 30 people, but I'm sure only 10 of them will turn up. Well, we get what we expect, right? So we got to expect positive results. I hear, you know, average people say, I need to be realistic. Successful people don't think about being realistic. Successful people speak about seeing results, having a positive expectation on everything we do. Now, don't get me wrong, we got to be careful because it can creep in. It's not in the obvious ways. It could be something so simple and you don't realize that you're talking negative over yourself. That's why we eliminated the T word. What happens when we say the T word, peeps? We don't say the T word because the T word is very simple. It isn't confirming anything, right? And for those of you new on the call, if you're trying, you're lying. You're only doing it or you don't. It's either you've done it or you haven't. You can't T it. You either have done it or you haven't done it, right? Very simple. Of course I did. I said it intentionally for the people that are not on the new people. You're trying to get my £1. Don't get out of here, right? We've got to explain it to the people, right? And that's a rhyme, right? If you're teeing, you're lying, right? It doesn't rhyme that way, okay? There are exceptions to the rule, okay? There are, right? Nice attempt, Lavinia. So it's very simple, all right? Do it, go all in with things. Do it to the, you know, to the best. Yeah, you definitely don't spell it, Patrick. Expect great things is what I'm saying. Do you have positive expectations on things at all times? I check myself sometimes. I'm like, oh, what did I just say? I reversed that. Let me not say that. Like I was saying to someone today, I was like, yeah, I've got to go netball. Some of the girls go 4 times a week to different, you know, different locations, different places. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna stick to one day. Let me just get myself. And then I caught myself. I was like, hold on, why am I limiting myself to one day? And straight away, guess what happened? I started to give the excuses. No, there's no one to run the opportunity calls. I need to run the opportunity calls. I need to, and guess what we do? We then start to trick our mind and tell ourselves why we can't do something. But some of the girls do 3 times, 4 times a week at different teams, different clubs. And I had to check myself, right? So we got to check ourselves, guys. Don't be scared to check yourself. Don't be scared to take, reverse what you say. If you hear it from yourself, like, reverse that. I'm not limiting myself. I'm not putting no cap on me. C, very important, is you must create. When you make a decision, you got to create. Like, you have to create the capacity. You've got to be creative in order to sustain that decision. And, sometimes we tell ourselves we can't. Sometimes we even tell ourselves, that something's impossible. Oh, no, that's for them. That's for them. Oh, they can do that. I can't do that. Sometimes we're ashamed to do certain things. I remember when I started at 13 years old, right? Selling fruit and veg on Lewisham High Street Market. I was that girl. I was a hustler from long time 99, right? And I was on the market stall whilst going to school, coming back, selling my fruit and veg. And I was that girl that was like, £1, £1. And I had the little pouch around my waist. And so many of my friends would walk past and they would laugh at me because they thought it was like a low, mediocre job. But there was no shame in my game because I knew I was getting paid at the end of the day. And sometimes, we save face because, what people are going to think. I need us to burn that one, because you don't want to worry about people that ain't paying your bills. You don't want to worry about the opinions of people that are not paying your bills. Facts. I don't pay attention to people that are not paying my bills. If they're discrediting what I'm doing or discrediting me, they're not paying my bills. So why am I going to pay them attention? And so sometimes we're too stush. I don't do that. I don't do that. But you're in debt, boo. But you're struggling on a monthly basis, sis. Like your mom is struggling on a monthly basis. You need to do what you need to do. And you don't need to be listening and worrying about what other people are saying, and your cousin and them around a chicken shop are talking about what you should and shouldn't be doing, but they ain't putting no money in your pocket. It's like, I knew the situation I was in when I got started in business, in coaching, in trading, in crypto. I knew the situation I was in. And so I decided that I was going to give it everything I had. I couldn't sit down and turn around and go, I just want to what? Homegirl, you're in 66K worth of debt. What do you mean you just wanna? Someone give you an opportunity that's gonna change your life. You just need to do what it. Let me give you some advice, guys. And this is what my mentor said to me. Let me see if I write it. Did I write it down? Or am I digressing? Did I write it down? It was a moment. It was a moment. Don't think I don't pull myself up as well, guys. I pull myself up too because I catch myself in it and I'm like, you better take that back, Nikki. Let me see if I write it down. This. If someone who is in the position that you want tells you to do something, do it. That sounds so basic. If someone is in the position that you want financially and they tell you to do something, do it. Isn't it interesting that the people that don't have as much success have a bag of excuses why they can't do what successful people are doing? It's so crazy that the people that make the most excuses have the least amount of success. That ain't a coincidence, guys. I need us to really deep this. The ones that make the most excuses have the least success. I want to shout out to my sister, Nasilia. She's been in 3 weeks, right? She's been mentored by me for 3 weeks. And she literally is coming and she's so coachable. She works full time. She's a senior nurse, okay? And I've tested her a little bit. I've gone, do this. She's done it straight away. Do this. She's done it straight away. Do this, done it. Boom, boom, boom. Done, done, done. And I'm like, I can see why she's getting results. I said, you're up, testimony. She's gone, yeah, I'm doing it. She did it. She did it. She was scared. She did it anyway. It was like, that's a mentor's best mentee, when there's someone with a sponge that just wants to soak up all of the things. They're in a situation where they know, listen, I don't have time to make my own mistakes. I just want to listen to someone who's got the results that I want. And I am open and willing to just get this job done. And sometimes we're too ashamed to ask for help. But then when we ask for the help and we get the answer, we're like, we want to tweak it. Oh, no, that's for somebody else. I don't want it. So the question is are you willing to, yes, drop the pride, drop the ego, drop the, drop the shade? And you know what I do want to say? I want to say this. So many of you reached out to me on the back of Saturday's call. And it was empowering to see how, there was a trust there to say, Nikki, XYZ. And 9 times out of 10, I was able to give a number or give a suggestion or say, hey, look, do this, do that, do that. And sometimes it's got to be, let's let go of pride. If you're not where you need to be, don't give yourself validation to make excuses. Don't give yourself, escape route to get out of it. You know what makes me uncomfortable? Exercise. I'll call it out straight. It makes me uncomfortable because I don't like doing it. But you know what? I know it's going to get me the results. Do you know this? That the thing that you don't like doing the most is potentially the thing that's going to get you the most results. The things that you're avoiding, the things that you're giving yourself permission not to do, is the thing that's going to get you the most results. And so we must be creative. We must create ourselves, give ourselves the environment to really thrive in what it is that we're doing, and not tell ourselves that we can't do things, not to keep telling ourselves that this is just for them, and worrying about what other people think, and worrying about how other people are going to take things. No, you have a goal. You have something that you want to achieve. And so you got to do what you got to do. Right? Don't watch no face. Because I tell you what, sometimes the people that you're even watching, you go behind closed doors, they can't even scratch ants themselves. So sometimes we're worried about the opinions of people that couldn't even help us even if they tried. And so I want you to be open, to be creative when it comes to you making a decision, because the decision is free. The decision is free, but the actions behind the decision, that's where you're going to see the work. So C is create. My favorite, invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Last year I spent over 20,000 on personal development, on developing myself and getting myself in the right rooms and putting myself in position with winners. If I want to make 7 figures, I need to be in the rooms with people that are making 7 figures. And those rooms, I got to invest in myself. I got to make sure that I'm putting myself. You see, the problem with a lot of people that are not successful, they don't want to invest in themselves. They don't want to invest in themselves. You got to invest in yourself. It may not even be money. Your investment could be time. Where are you investing your time? Do you study to show yourself approved? Are you investing time to listen to people that have the results that you desire? How many of you was on the call on Sunday with Chris, albeit it got cut off shorter? I will never miss a call with Chris, because I need to be the first one to know what's going on. I need to be the first one to find out what's the next moves, right? It could be investing. It could be investing in yourself. It could be investing in your personal brand. It could be investing in, Zoom. It could be something so small. Those of you that are running businesses and you don't have the, $9.99 Zoom or $14.99 Zoom, invest in a Zoom so it's not unprofessional when you're talking to people. It cuts out. I mean, it could be something as basic as that. Some people are just not willing to invest in themselves. And that's what delays you, because if you don't invest in yourself, you can't get to the next level. So where do you need to invest? Maybe you got to schedule some time and invest your time into, you know, coming on calls like this, being around people that have the results that you want. S, show up. Half the battle is in showing up. Now you make a decision, you want to lose weight, you make a decision, whatever the decision is, half the battle is in showing up. Like the whole reason why I didn't want to work out is because of the fear that I would not be able to sustain the pace, because I know that I am not in the fittest of my life. I remember being 18 and running around and having all this energy. And so why is it that I was avoiding going into rooms of exercise and stuff like that? Is because of the fear of not fulfilling the goal to the best of my ability, or to the standard that I had in my head. And a lot of the times we have fear, right? We don't show up because we fear that we're not gonna, you know, capitalize or maximize in that zone. So we just avoid it. But do you know half the battle is showing up? Because the first week, I was like, whoa, where's my inhaler? I don't even have asthma, right? But after the second week and the third week and the fourth week, guess what happened? I started to, you know, don't get it twisted, your girl's still in between her six pack, but I am nowhere near I was in the first week. What does that say? I want you to write this down. Small aggregate goals. It is not going to be easy. When you make a decision to do something, okay, as I said, the decision is free, but small aggregate goals. So the first week I was like, boy, if I play, I just want to finish without passing out. That was a goal. That was my goal, right? As long as I don't pass out, embarrass myself, that's a goal for me. Second week was like, okay, I survived the first week. I'm going to make another goal. Second week, I need to score because it's embarrassing. I missed every shot the first week. So the second week, I was like, no, homegirl, you ain't going to play me like that. I am going to score. And guess what happened? Second week, I scored multiple goals. Come on. Third week, I came there. I was like, listen, what I want to do is I don't want to cheat the warm-up. That confession. I cheated the warm-up. And when they said do the burpees and the star jumps, yeah, they lost me at the last one. Because I just got to the end and said some sumo squats. And then I was just like, yeah, man's walking back. Yeah, I don't have to call for the inhaler this week. So guess what? I was like, I ain't gonna cheat the I'm not gonna cheat the thing. And then this week, guess what happened? And I've been banging in goals all week. All right, after the first one, been banging in goals. And this week, now they were picking the teams. And guess who picked first? Me. They were like, oh yeah, Nikki can score, so we're picking Nikki. I was like, boom. Because guess what? I just didn't want to be picked last. You know, the ones that are picking the last one. Weakest link, goodbye. Who used to watch that, right? So you gotta have small aggregate goals. What are the small build me ups? Don't just throw yourself in the deep end and say, listen, I'll have 1 million by December, but your account is minus 4,000. How's that gonna work for you? Like, have some small aggregate goals that you can be able to get yourself tangible stuff that you can say, listen, do you know if you work on your goals every single day, you'll be in the top 5% of the world? Because most people don't do it, right? So simple, but not easy. Discipline again, right? So I want you to don't be so hard on yourself, but make sure you don't do avoidance just because of the fact that you don't feel like you may live up to the expectation. You got to build the muscle. You got to work on that muscle. You got to work on the muscle so that it becomes stronger, so that you then begin to get better at the skill set. Don't expect to be, perfect overnight. I remember when I ran my first Zoom call, I cut everybody out. I was in the messages like, everyone rejoin, call your guests, tell them it was a mistake. I cut everybody out. And then I just went on, what was the worst that could happen? I was like, hey guys, I cut you all off. What could I say? Right? Sometimes we get so worked up about the worst case scenario. What was the worst case scenario? I turn up to netball, my fitness wear, and everyone be like, yeah, you can just go on the other team. We don't want to. I mean, what were they going to do? So we worry about things that actually, they potentially don't even happen. number one. But number two, what's the worst case scenario? So set yourself small aggregate goals and work towards it every single day. Tangible. Make sure they're tangible, right? Make sure they're tangible. So, show up. Don't avoid showing up. How many of you have ever seen, I know some people like, Nikki, I saw you text me. I just didn't respond because I know I said I was going to do something. I know you're following up with me. So guess what? I just ain't going to respond. Anyone ever avoided their mentor, ever avoided someone, or even a colleague at work, but you just hiding because you're like, I ain't lived up to the expectation. And so you just show up. You won't believe how showing up can, help you with that battle. Show up. All right, how many of you are glad you showed up on Saturday's call with myself, the Money Matters call? All right, so much nuggets that I'm giving on those Saturday calls. Saturday we were talking about building your credit rating and how to make sure that, certain things in the past don't affect you. And, the half the thing is in showing up. There's some people on that call that's going to have things removed off their credit file, the things that they wasn't aware that they could remove, which then opens the doors for them to enable them to do what? Be more progressive in their life, get more, assets or whatever. So the half the battle is just showing up, because if you don't show up, you don't get the information. If you don't show up, you're not going to build the muscle. So don't ever be afraid to say, okay, well, I didn't hit the goal, but I'm working on the muscle, and that's a positive. Don't go, oh yeah, I didn't hit, I couldn't do it, I can't, I won't, I ain't going back there. No, it's like, I'm still building the muscle. I need you to write that down. I'm still building the muscle. We're still working the muscle. We're working the muscle, right? And it's not going to happen overnight, but the discipline is going to help you to work that muscle. Okay. The second I is in, all in, right? All in. You can't decide something, I have one foot in and one foot out. It just don't work. When you decide something, when you decide that that's where it's going to be, you got to be all in with it. So how many of you have decided that, generational wealth is coming from your lineage? How many of you have decided that, you will be a 6-7 figure earner? How many of you have decided that, right? I see a few nods, I see a few yeses. Okay. But now here's the challenge. When you've decided that, you got to go all in for that. So everything that is in alignment with that goal, you have to be all in for. So if I said to you that you have to travel to Manchester, if you don't live in Manchester, all right, you travel to Manchester and meet a few individuals that can literally open doors for you, would you be willing to go to Manchester? If I said to you, I'll put you on a phone with a multi-millionaire, are you going to make it happen that you get on that phone with a multi-millionaire? If I said to you, listen, you said you want to make 6-7 figures. You said you want to make 6-7 figures. And I have been able to secure a call for you with this millionaire. Are you going to show up? Or are you going to say, oh, can you tell the millionaire that I'm available on Saturday? Can we reschedule? Can you ask the millionaire? For real? No, we're going to show up, right? Half the battle is in showing up. Half the battle is going all in. We adapt, we overcome, and we win. I remember the first time I had a phone conversation, a video call with my mentor, right? I was on the go. I had so much things to do, but guess what I did? I was like, listen, there was no way I was not going to do that. So I was like, what time? You give me a time, I'm there. And I remember Matt, he gave me the worst time ever because it was in between. I think I had a Zoom call booked. This is when we were doing the lunchtime specials. So I had a Zoom call booked. I also had an appointment at my son's school. And I still had to be transitioning from where I was. So it was the worst time possible. I was like, listen, that's fine with me. I'll make it happen. And you know what I did? I got an earpiece, right? I didn't have an earpiece at the time. I went and bought an earpiece, had him in my ear. And I was just taking the notes. I was like, listen, I'll be real with you. This is what I got going on, but I need to take the notes. I don't want to miss your, I don't want to miss your availability. So I'm gonna work with you. So you talk, just know I'll be taking notes. If I have questions, I'll intervene. I had that. You know why? Because I don't pass over opportunities repeatedly. And that is the definition of poor. Passing over opportunities repeatedly, we make things happen. We make things happen. And so we say, yes, I'll show up. But have you ever not showed up when you could get conversation or when you can get advice from a multimillionaire? Every Sunday, we have exposure to multi-millionaires, billionaire statuses. Are you showing up for that? Or are you giving yourself an excuse or telling yourself that you don't need to show up? Are you all in with the vision that you say that you have? Because when you're all in, you can't be picky and choosy. You can't turn around and say to yourself, oh no, I'm all in to make $1 million, but I don't want to do that. Because guess what? Those that are making $1 million are doing that. So if you're going to take away from the ingredients that's going to make the millionaire pie, it's not going to be a millionaire anymore. So we got to be consciously aware that sometimes we are blocking our own blessings. And that's a hard one. Because we attempt to do the best that we can, right? I don't believe no one wakes up in the morning, says, I want to do as bad as I can today. I want to destroy my life. No, we all get up with the best of intentions. But that's the power of self-reflecting and saying, okay, I could have been in that room. I could have done X, Y, Z. And that's why it's important to set yourself tangible goals. You know, one of my affirmations is now that I will never miss an opportunity that's going to change my life. I will never miss an opportunity of an interaction that's going to change my life. So now I've made it a point of duty to network, to get in rooms that I would normally give myself an excuse for. I'm too tired. Oh, that's not about this, so I'm going to stay away. So we've got to be actively aware about this stuff, right? Oh, here we go. Overcome obstacles. When you've made a decision that you're going somewhere, it is almost guaranteed that you will have to overcome obstacles. Facts. You will have to overcome obstacles if you have made a decision that you want to go somewhere. Right? How many of us have ever made a decision that we're going to do something and then something crops up? It's like, oh, I'll put that off till next month. Oh, I'll do that another day. Distractions will come. Sometimes even doubts, self-doubt will come. Sometimes unforeseen circumstances. Have you ever seen those letters? Due to unforeseen circumstances, we apologize that the train is now running late, or we've had to cancel all the trains. Due to unforeseen circumstances. We always see these unforeseen circumstances coming up. But due to the unforeseen circumstance, did you ever say, well, I'll sleep at the train station. I just won't go home. No, we overcome that obstacle. How many of you have ever been, in a position where the train has been canceled or the train has been delayed, right? And you're supposed to go home. You don't just abort mission and go, well, I guess I'll sleep on the I'll sleep on the platform because the train. No, we overcome the obstacle. You might get a taxi, you might divert, but you must get home. And that's how we have to see our goals. We have to see the things that we've decided we are going to overcome that obstacle. I'm going home. You ain't catching me. I'm too bougie to be sleeping on no train station. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. Someone gonna find me somewhere. I'll call someone. You see, the thing is, the power of networking is that I know wherever I go, there's someone that knows me, right? And this is what I'm talking about when we say we're shy to meet people and shy to talk to people. If you get stranded, if I got stranded in Dubai, I have people out in Dubai who can come and pick me up. I get stranded in Jamaica. In fact, go ahead and type on the call right now. Where are you currently tuning from? Because you all my links. I'm the connect, yo. Right? I am the connect. I got you guys. I got you peoples. Right? You guys are my family. I get stuck. I'm just like, listen, yo, B, come get me. Yo, Like, call your husband, Charmaine, call your husband and them, call your cousin and them brethren. I got family right now. I got family in Canada, Birmingham, St. Albans, London, Texas, Maidstone, Southeast London, Bristol, Birmingham. Bro, I'm connected out here, fam. Wales, Lagos, yo, cleaner Nigeria. I have connection in Nigeria, right? Scotland, the penthouse in Lewisham, Angelina, Ireland. How connected are you? You guys are thinking just business. I'm like, listen, I'm connected. Cayman Islands, come on. Come on. I'm connected worldwide. This is why you got to grow your network everywhere you go, because you never know what might happen. Oxford. Where's that? I don't even know how to say that, but yeah, Garden City, Wellwyn. I'm connected. So when you build your network, know that there's going to be benefits to you building a network, benefits to you connecting to people. It's not just about, you know, successful people all know a man and a man. How many of you know that most of these successful people, they knew somebody who could give them a little heads up prior? They knew how to get through the door. Let's not get it twisted and think that success is a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. Success is intentional, very intentional. That's the next I from this. You got to be all in, yes, but you got to be intentional about it. You must be intentional. Success is not just going to drop in your lap. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. You got to be intentional about getting in the right rooms. You got to be intentional about showing up. You got to be intentional about working on your skill set. You got to be intentional about investing in yourself. You got to be intentional about making sure that you don't make excuses, but you are creative and you simply make, you know, decisions that's going to get you making solutions, not excuses. What's that saying? Successful people, you know, they create solutions. Unsuccessful people, they create a reason why they can't do something. They create the problems, right? And you got to be a person that doesn't highlight the problems, but you highlight solution. What's going to get you out of that situation that you're currently in? What do you need to do? Have you given up? Have you given up? Yeah, oh, it's November. Oh, maybe I should start again in January. No. Reactivate. Reactivate your mind, reactivate yourself, reactivate your spirit. Be that person that you want to see every single day. Okay, so, and the N, the last N stands for now. You got to do it now. This is not a next month, next year. If you want to get the next N to the next level, you've got to do it now. It's got to be something that you actively decide now. I'm deciding that this is what I want, and these are the tangible things that's going to get me there. You want to be a millionaire, okay? I want to have 7 figures, 6 figures. Okay, what's the tangible thing that's going to get you there? Because I tell you what, sitting around going, I'm so happy and grateful now. Yes, it's important, but that's not a tangible. That's the mindset shift. But what's going to tangibly get you to $1 million? What's going to tangibly be the vehicle that's going to get you there? Some of you guys on here trade. Some of you guys have ECX stores. Some of you guys work 9 to 5. Some of you guys run a business. Tangibly, at the rate you're going right now, how long is it going to take you to be a millionaire? Some of you guys going chairman. What is the thing that you need to do on a tangible basis that's going to get you to that goal? Because if you're turning down income streams, I don't know for you. If you're not where you need to be and you are turning down an income stream and you are saying to yourself, I can't, that ain't for me. I'm going to just stay over here. I'm just going to keep myself over here. What you're doing is you're limiting the resource that you have to get you to the goal that you say you want. So the question is how badly do you want to achieve the goals that you have? How badly? And I don't have time to go into it. I was going to go through the law of the seed. We'll follow that up next week. But the one line I do want to refer to you about the law of the seed, and you guys know it's this book. All right, if you haven't already got it, the 7 laws that you must obey to have uncommon success, by one of my favorite authors, Mike Murdoch. Okay. The law of the seed. A seed is a beginning. A seed is a beginning. I want you to hold on to that until next week. A seed is a beginning. So when you say, I'm so happy and grateful now that I have 6-7 figures, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm married, I'm so happy and grateful now, whatever the goal is, that is just the seed. That's the beginning of it. But then you need to water that seed. Then you need to make sure that the seed is looked after, it's getting the right amount of light, the right exposure. Because just saying, I'm so happy and grateful now alone isn't going to manifest into what it is that you want. There has to be the activity behind it. So before I go into the special announcement, let me repeat. D is do it with discipline. E is to expect great things. C is to create and also, make sure that we don't tell ourselves that we can't. I is to invest in yourself. S is to show up. I is all in and being intentional. O is overcoming obstacles. And N is now. You have to do it now if you want to get to the next level. This is a ring the alarm moment, all right? And it's important that yes, we want to make sure that we sow the seed, but then we need to make sure that we keep to cultivating that seed, that we keep watering that seed, that we make sure the seed has the right exposure, to the right lighting, to the right food, that seed is getting looked after. And so a lot of us on this call have planted some seeds, but I'm concerned whether or not we're watering it enough, whether or not we're exposing it enough, whether or not that seed is being flourished, that seed is being nurtured and grown. So we got to analyze this and ask ourselves the question, what am I deciding? What's the decision that I'm going to make? This is going to be a pinnacle moment. And I'm prophesying right now on this call that this is going to be a very, very pinnacle moment for some of you that take this seriously, some of you that self-reflect and really sit and sit on this word today on what you're going to decide to do. Now, here's what I want to do before I give you guys a special announcement. Okay, I need for you guys to raise your hand if you have a testimony about, a financial testimony, something that you've been able to achieve, whether it be this year, this week, this month, last month. All right. I want to hear a financial testimony. If you have a financial testimony right now, I want you to raise your hands. All right. Because you made a decision to get started here in the academy. You made a decision to start your financial journey and to get you to the next level. And now I want to see if we have anybody on this call that can give a testimony, a financial testimony on what you've been able to achieve since you've made a decision. All right. And so let me just, if you can turn your cameras on, if possible, I'll unmute you. Thank you, guys. See a couple of you here. Hey, Kayan.
Hi, hello everyone. I'm driving, so if you can't see me, it's a bit dark. So my testimony is ever since when you introduced me to the crypto wallet last year, December, I jumped on it straight away, and I bought 1 Ethereum, and few months later, my wife wanted to keep a party. Plus, my son I wanted to have his birthday party as well. I was able to triple my money in my crypto wallet, and I was able to withdraw 1,500 to keep a party for my wife and a party for my son as well, just based on my crypto wallet. It wasn't my money; it was just my investment. So thank you for that, Nikki, because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even know what crypto wallet is. So that was powerful for me, and that's why I know that this platform is very powerful. It's very, very powerful.
Wow, amazing. You decided to follow the instruction. Let's go.
Yeah, that's it.
Come on. Let's go. Amazing. Look at that. Thank you so much, Kayan. We're looking forward to celebrating you even more, bro. Drive safe, please. Drive safe.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Will do.
Wow, wow, wow. Come on. Come on. Listen, I told you guys last week, so many individuals can hear one piece of information and many people take it differently. Yes, Kayan, we celebrate you, brother. Yes, we have Tara as well. Hey,
I don't know if you guys can hear me. I'm using my laptop at the moment. So I spoke a few weeks ago about my great grandma passing away, and the funeral was last week, Wednesday. And so been in contact with family over, because it has happened in Kenya. So I've been in contact with family over in Kenya with my grandma and cousins and everybody. And when we started Cash for Christmas, I told Tosin I was struggling to wake up for them 6 o'clock. I can't lie to you. I was on the call. I fall asleep. I wake up. The TP been hit. So I was like, you know what? I need to sit on these calls. I actually need to take time and be on these calls. So off the back of being on those calls and being able to make money from those calls, I sent money to my family to help for funeral expenses. And I got a message from my grandma today, and she was like, thank you so much, because she's never really seen me sending her money. It's usually my mom or my uncle, like the elders of the family. So when I personally sent her the money, not only I was sending her money from myself, but I was sending her money on behalf of my mom, on behalf of some of the family that we have here, because, it was just for me, I could do it. And it was really nice to be able to just do it, just off the back of just number one, showing up. And number two, making sure that when I say I'm going to set out and do something, I'm going to do it. And for me, it just made me feel like this is the first step to me being able to help my family become financially free. And, it just feels really nice. Like, I'm not going to lie, like recently I've been sitting there and I'm like, wow, I've got so much money in my purse. Like, honestly, I'm spending money and I'm not worried about where the next penny is going to come from. And that's a really nice feeling. Like, I honestly, I'm very, very grateful for that feeling. So yeah, that's my testimony.
Incredible. And you know what the power of that is, guys? Give it up for Tara. She came on this call. You guys remember, she came and she said, listen, my goal, and that's the power of speaking it out loud. She was like, my goal is to give back to my family. And, she's been giving back. And look, in the time, let me just say one more thing before we get Mary up. But the time, and this works with the personal development as well. People show up to personal development and they're like, yeah, I'm personally developed. You don't know when you're personally developed until the situation comes up that needs you to develop in the way that you would personally act, right? So that's why you build yourself in the time, in the season, so that when that situation does occur, you can, respond, not react accordingly. Right. And so, we can see the strength in Tara and the way that she was literally, and Angelina as well said it. I mean, I won't stop saying it. The strength that I've seen in that individual to, show up and to keep pushing and to keep, just putting the one foot in front of the other, despite how tough certain things can be. Charmaine, another person. Jade, another one. And, we're definitely, keeping them all in prayer through the losses of loved ones. And excuse me if I've, missed out anybody. But it's that time when you see whether the personal development is there, whether the personal development has worked. It's not in the season where you think, right? So don't ever feel like, yeah, I'm showing up, I'm strong now, I'm strong. It's not now that you need it. It's when that situation occurs. And it's the same thing when it comes to this skill set. Learning to make money, but then what is that money for? When you need it, you don't want to be struggling. You don't want to be stressed in certain situations. So such a powerful testimony. Thank you so much, Tara. Mary.
Yes, ma'am. Hallelujah.
Sorry.
Thank you so much, Nikki, for allowing me to speak. I wasn't going to speak, but I have to talk because God is good all the time. So two things. First of all, when I first came into this space and I started to make money, like mad money, when I was crazy. And he said, withdraw the money. I was able to go into a shop, and it was one of my affirmations where I said, I want to be able to pay for at least 1 million Black citizens the entire shopping bill. It happened on more than one occasion. I was able to bless some amazing women in the space at the supermarket, and just led by the Holy Spirit, he just said to me, pay for this person's shopping. And I was able to pay for a couple of pensioners' shoppings as I'm going out. And that is because I was able to afford it in this space. That's the first thing. So that blew me over. just to be able to see the actual manifestation of my affirmation. It was a manifestation of what I'd been affirming, you know, we say I'm so happy and grateful now. So we say all those things. I was able to manifest that. That was the first thing. The second thing was when you first told us to get into the crypto space and buy XRP. I said, Lord Jesus. Me and the KBS man. I fight. I couldn't get through with it. But I was determined. We adapt, overcome, and win. And I was able to eventually get my Coinbase wallet. And that's when people were struggling to get their Coinbase. I was able to get through. And when I got to me buy the XRP, trust or no, by time, must it but other one, January, February, I sent me box. And I had to my mom sent me some money. I had to send her the screenshot of how the money had grown. I bought XRP, I think it was 18p. When it jumped to, what is it, £1 and mash, I said, me friend, I have never in my life seen money grow that quickly in a short space of time from 18p. I couldn't believe it. So education in this space to me is key. It's mind blowing because we need financial education as people of color because we've had none. We've been ripped off, tricked, deceived, lied to, all of that. Now is our time. The entire wealth transfer belongs to us, but we have to go and claim it. We're not just going to fall into our laps, like you said already. Success is to be intentional. We've got to decide that we're going to go after something and just get the information and then do what we need to do with the information so we can get the results. So, amen.
Mary is a whole vibe. And you know what, Mary, again, it's the power of taking, making a decision. All right, making a decision to actually move because the entry price is going up. Like the price of entry is literally going up. So if we don't make these moves now, it's not saying that you can't make them in the future, but the price of entry is going up. So the power of making a decision, of moving, even when you don't fully understand something, but you get a word from someone who does, you have to move. You got to move. Who else? Lucy, where's Lucy? Lucy, you got a testimony. Why can't I hear Lucy? Come on up, Lucy. Or maybe Lucy, let me see if I can unmute Lucy. You sent me a testimony today. Unmute yourself, Lucy. Tell everyone. Lucy's been buying the moments, guys.
Yeah. Hi, Nikki. I was just trying to find my hand to put it up. Yeah. I know I texted you today. I was so shocked when I looked at my moments. NBA Top Shot.
Yes.
I've bought 5 of them, and 2 of them is worth. One is worth over $888. I bought it just for $7, and the other one is worth. Someone sold one for $4,500+.
How much did you pay for that one?
I paid something like $9. It was ridiculous.
Come on.
So I'm holding on to it because I want to see if it goes to 1 million.
Come on. Now here's the thing with the moments, guys. Don't get attached to them either. Okay, no. Don't get too attached to them. But yes, it's the NFTs for me. I'm excited about them.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Well done, Lucy. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for your testimony as well. Lucy messaged me about 3 o'clock this morning. I was like, what's going on? Lucy said, my moment. I'm worth $9, $888. Lucy's like, yes, come on, I'm buying some more. Listen, I tell you, the power of information. We have time for one more testimony, and then I'm going to drop this special announcement because I'm excited about this one. And funny enough, it's all in alignment with these testimonies. We have one more financial testimony. I know don't remember what I said, guys, don't ever get an opportunity to get your voice heard and get your, get your word across and make an impact in a place. Don't ever hide. Don't hide. I know I've got more financial testimonies on here. Erase your Zoom hand if you can, or wave at me. Is that all? Oh, okay, so Tosin's nominating a few. Is that all one word? Joan, where's Joan at? I can see Sharon as well. Joan, if you can come to the floor, let me unmute Sharon. Let's get another financial testimony. Hey, Sharon.
Hey, Nikki. Hi, everyone. Thank you for Nikki letting me speak. Next month will be on the 13th of next month. It'll be a whole year since I've been on this platform. I was introduced by Gary Dixon, fantastic. When I first came on, I've actually made some money in the beginning, obviously through the MT4.
Yeah.
And then after that, I think when you did your gold, was it the gold?
Fun?
Yes. Now, when you did that, I thought, oh my God, Nikki knows how to read the charts. Okay. And all I was doing is screenshooting. Oh, sorry, that was my cat. So all I was doing was screenshooting everything. And I was going, oh my gosh, look how she's done it. And every day I was calling people, come on this, but I wasn't missing it. And I actually didn't understand because it was you and Lisa at the time saying, sell when the market is high.
Yes, I remember those tools, yes.
And buy when the market is low. And you kept singing it. And I thought, what are they talking about? And I couldn't understand it. And so later on, I said, you know what? I like this gold. So I started to study it. And then I said, okay, it goes above. And and the penny dropped. The penny dropped so much that I was just studying it. And I tell you what, I was going, that's what they're talking about, the lie, the high. I have to say, I did make some money. The most I actually made was 600, and I think it was £47, something like that. Within, I think I got so into it. It was about 5 hours.
Wow.
About 5 hours. Because I was sneaking in and sneaking out, and it was practically because I didn't know how to read the charts properly, but I saw when it was going up, when it was going down. And I was like, and then I said, okay, another one's going in there and another one's going in there. Then when it goes draw down, I went, oh my God, like this. And I went, don't worry, what goes up must come down. So I actually achieved the next day, 500 and something. So I thought, but after that, that managed me to pay for a barbecue for my family. Wow. that I opened up before pandemic was over with Boris and all that. So I said, you know what, I don't know when I'm going to see people. Let me just have this barbecue. And I paid everything, made sure I had food, the lot. And I tell you what, I haven't had the money since, so it's all gone. But today, it's all gone. I tell you what, I did some trades and followed everything, but I just wasn't getting it. And then so I decided, I blew my account back 2 or 3 times. Jesus. And it was bad. So then I said, I'm not going to do no more trading for a while. I just needed to come away from it and just come on the calls, come on your calls, come on every calls. And then when it came for the Christmas one, this morning was the indices, right? And I watched Charmaine, I watched everybody. And I think in indices, I've not been on, this is a week 3, so I wasn't able to go on the first 2 weeks. So I thought, let me go on this morning. And when I checked it, I said, oh, you have to have £1,000 in the account. I was going, oh my God, I ain't got £1,000. So I had like £300.
Yes.
And this morning, after the call, I felt really inspired. I said, let me go and look at the gold because I couldn't look at indices and so I started to look at the gold, and I got, my goal was £200.
Wow.
£200 a day. That's what I said I'm going to get. I got £209 today. So
wow,
I finished. So I've been so excited, and you know what? I said, no, I'm not going to go in. And I've been watching Charmaine as well, because she's talking about, are you being compounding? This is how you do it. And I'm thinking, you know what? Let me do my compounds. I got £200 that actually made up for like the 3 weeks I haven't done. Do you understand what I mean? So yeah. So wow. that's my testimony. So tomorrow is £200. £200
again tomorrow. Come on.
Oh,
Listen.
£1,000. If we did it in 5 days, because they're saying
5 days.
I did it. I actually did 10:30 this morning to 1:55. I stopped.
Yes.
And I got £209. Actually,
that's
I had
3
200.
hours?
I had 200 and I think it was £202. And then I went into another trade, and then I thought, no, wait, let it go blue, right? £4, 4p, something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I just said, you know what? Don't let me go in anything. Mindset, really go. This is what you say. So this is, I'll stop the trade. That's it. I've done my goal. So tomorrow is another £200. So yeah.
That's it. And you know what though, Sharon, what I love about your testimony is your transparency, because a lot of people will just tell you their wins. They're not tell you their, you know, their lessons or their losses. And, you know, it's the fact that you recognize now that you got to be disciplined. You got to do it differently, because, you know, you make the 600. And that's the thing with gold, right? Because when you started to say, I was looking at it going up and I was looking at it going down, my heart was starting to beat, because I was like, that is not the strategy.
Oh,
but you made 600 and 500, fair enough. But now it's the discipline to make sure that you're following the right strategy. Do you see what I'm saying?
That's right.
200
That's right.
today, I mean, that's your compound. And we're celebrating you for that. I know so many of us have been in trades like that where we're like, yo, it's going up, we're gonna buy. But yeah, shout out to Sharon, guys. Let's go. What an amazing testimony. I wanted to see if we can get Joan. Is Joan on? Is Joan on the call? Let's see if I can unmute Joan, and then we'll jump into that special announcement. Let's see if I can get Joan. Joan, are you there? I don't think Joan is there. Maybe Joan can't unmute at the moment. Okay, cool. So let's go into it. I hope that you found this mindset call inspiring. I hope you've got something from it. I hope you have, you know, taken some tangible notes that you can go away and not just leave it in your notebook, but make a decision to do something with it. Make a decision to put yourself out there. Make a decision that you're going to be a testimony next time. Make a decision that you are going to do the tangible things that's going to get you to where you need to be, okay? Because one of the things that I pray for is I pray that there are some of you on this call that I know have some skill sets, some talents inside of you that you're squashing, that you're not allowing to come out. And I pray, my prayer for you guys is that you will one day soon believe in who you are and begin to come out of yourself. Because the moment that you let out what it is that's on the inside of you, it's going to be so powerful. That's why I encourage new people to give testimonies on the calls. That's why I encourage you to come out so early. That's why I encourage you to speak up on these calls. Because the moment you begin to speak, the moment you begin to say, oh, it's not actually that bad. What's the worst that can happen? I mean, the worst that can happen is you get tongue-tied and we're all in the chats pumping you up. Come on, you can do it. That's the worst that can happen. But my prayer for you is that you will begin to believe in yourself enough to show up for yourself and not shy away in the background. That's my prayer for you. You will begin to see the talent that you have, and you'll begin to nurture it, and you'll begin to help it grow, and you'll begin to expose that talent that's on the inside of you so that you can become the best version of yourself. Because I genuinely believe that when you do that, when you start to go all in, when you start to let go of the control, the reins of that idea of perfection that doesn't exist, that you will begin to see. I know that there's so many of you on this call that have a testimony. I know that there's so many of you on this call that's like, that should be me. She's talking to me. I should be the one to speak. But there's something holding you back. And my prayer for you is that you will find boldness, that you will find confidence, that you will begin to love yourself enough to say that this skill set isn't just for me, this thing that I've been able to achieve? How many of you are blessed by the testimonies that were on this call tonight? And, you know, we are blessed to be a blessing. Don't keep it to yourself. Don't keep what you've been doing to yourself. Share that information. All right, share your testimony so somebody else can be blessed by your testimony. All right, and this is the power of making a decision that you're not going to be in the background no more, that you're not going to shy away no more, that you are going to fulfill the purpose over your life. I actually prophesy right now that tomorrow there's going to be new testimonies on the opportunity call. The next week there's going to be new testimonies, that we're going to hear from new voices, that there's going to be people that start to do the opportunity calls that have never done it. There's people that's going to start running training sessions that have never done it. There's people, I'm prophesying right now that there's some people on this call that are no longer going to go into 2022 the same person they were in 2021, that the shackles are broken, that there is a release. There's something that's just come off of you. There's a let go of the control. There's a let go of the fear. There's a let go of some of the things that were said, and that you will begin to speak your truth, and you'll begin to open your mouth because you have something to say. You have purpose. You've got something to say that we need to hear. Somebody needs to hear your story that's unique to you. And so my prayer is, I encourage you to come out of yourself. I encourage you to put yourself forward. I encourage you to speak out. Don't be scared. What's the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen probably won't happen. All right. And so I'm going to be working with you guys because, you know, the mentor's best thing to see is to see the students begin to grow and step out of themselves. And I pray when I go on that opportunity call tomorrow and I say, who's going to give me a testimony, that I'm going to see a new face, that I'm going to hear a new voice, because I want to see you guys growing. I think that it's needed in this season. All right. So I encourage you guys for that. And let's go ahead and just, you know, make sure that we review our notes today. Don't just let them, you know, be notes in a book. Let's take it and let's make a decision to make it work. Remember what you want. Decide what you want. Ask the question, what am I going to decide that I want? What am I deciding? And what's the tangible things that I'm going to do to get me there? And I'm not going to block my blessing. I'm not going to tell myself I can't. I'm not going to tell myself it's for them. I'm going to claim it for me, and I'm going to get my life back, right? So let me just stop this.